shady.
Yeah, you guys probably can see Denise a lot better than me, but she wants to be in the sun. I'm cool right here in the shade. See, I got my visor and everything,
Yeah,
so.
I'm here for the sun.
And I'm here
So
for the scenery, minus all the
not only
extra
the
sun.
sun, the scenery as well, but the sun as well. That makes
So
sense.
let me get this closer, make sure you guys can hear us.
Because somebody's a low talker. No, big fake and don't lie.
Somebody equal me. So yeah, we were talking about again the blending, and
So, let me
specifically
ask you.
we're on the anchor baby or the unity baby. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
of people saying you need a unity
Okay.
baby?
I was one of them people. I before I got here.
The
That
myth,
was
the
that
urban
was
myth. See, the
me.
myth
Cause
is
I,
you
you
can't stay
know,
together without a unity
I
baby.
felt like what I don't have no, especially when the person have a child, your husband or boyfriend have a child with somebody else, and you have a child with somebody else, and now y'all just come together and y'all don't have anything together. It was like, I don't know, but now it's almost like, no, we don't have. You don't have to have a child with the person that you're married to or the person that you're in a relationship with. That don't mean that y'all not close and y'all don't have a bond. And no, because this is the closest bond that I ever have since I've ever been in a relationship. Which I've only been in one other real relationship, but this is it for me. I wouldn't. Why you?
You've been in like 3 or 4 relationships, but you don't want to label them.
No, no, no. That's not true. That's not true. I've been in one and a half.
I feel sorry for that half person.
Woo!
1.5.
One and a half relationship. My children's father, and that's not true. What are you showing? Who
It
else?
doesn't matter.
But
Back to the
anyway,
yeah, the
back to it.
closest connection you've ever had. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
is you know here, and we don't have any children together. So, you know, to everyone that I've ever judged or relationship saying, "Oh, y'all don't have no children together. Y'all need to have a child. Why y'all don't have no child together? He don't want to have a child with you." And no,
Here's the thing. We all thought that you need that kind of connection or bond, but again, it's a myth. First of all, because what about people that cannot have a child? Does that make them any different because they can't birth a child? So because is their relationship doomed because they can't have a child? And yeah, there's adoption and stuff like that, but we don't have to go into all that. I'm just saying, not everyone is blessed to have that. So luckily, that's not something you have to have in order to um, make your relationship strong and keep you guys together. But as far as children,
yeah, we
we've
don't
got
have.
several children outside of just our 4 children that we have together. We've got our businesses, our children. We've got our animal, our dog that's children. So our businesses, first and foremost, they're like infants for years and years and years. So we're in
Never grow
business
up.
together. So again, it's going to keep that bond there as well. So um,
And even if you don't have businesses or business, you have each other.
yeah,
You don't have to have any children or anything
Oprah
to
and
be.
Stedman are like one of the longest couples I know, and
And
they
people
don't even have
judge
a ring
them
on.
though.
So
People
we
judge
all
them
say
to
we got to
that.
have rings, but they don't even have a ring on it technically. So they're life partners without having to do all that other rigmarole. So they threw the baby out with the bathwater. So you don't have to have a baby. So yeah, we dispelled that unity anchor baby myth for relationships. What is another topic that people don't understand? The next thing, if we ever get into situations where we have disagreements, which is going to come in any relationship, we're going to have our ups and downs and how you feel about certain things. Um, and if you, again, like we said, before you ever decide to exit or you feel like communication is ever breaking down and you want to see a professional, I think the same way you don't take financial advice from a broke person if you're not trying to be broke or you're not on a broke level. I take my money advice from other affluent people at the end of the day because they know they've proven success. They're already there. So if I'm trying to take any kind of a counseling advice, like I've told her, that counselor's one, got to be married or have been married, and hopefully, ideally, have been married before this marriage, so that they can relate to what it feels like to be divorced and remarried, and better yet, are they a blended family? Because then now you're speaking our language. If you're not walking in our shoes, how can you understand what I'm going through and take it and be able to pour into me advice other than textbook or theory or something like that? You've got to walk in our shoes to know what it is to have a blended family, to have siblings that aren't blood siblings. So at times they may have disagreements, or at times they're going to be cliquish, or with us trying to discipline the other, our spouse's child and that kind of stuff. How does that go in the beginning? So those are all touchy subjects people probably would want to know. But again, with counseling and professional help, if you're not walking my walk, I can't hear you.
And
Just like they say, the lion doesn't take care about the opinions of the sheep. So.
And everything takes time. Everything takes time.
Oh yeah, I mean, time is all we have. So that and a good outlook and disposition is what makes it work. And as parents, you set the tone for the children on the relationship and how it goes. And luckily, I was blessed with my parents to be able to show. My mom is just. Well, you and my mom are Virgos, so I don't know. Maybe it's a Virgo thing, but they are some of the most nurturing and caring people. My brother, one of my older brothers, is blended family. His mom passed away, and he came to live with us. Came up from Jamaica to live with us when I think he was a teenager at the time, and we were younger. So again, we're now blending. So seeing how my mom integrated us and treated us all like it's all one. There's no this is mine and that's yours. And if that ever happened, nipped it in the bud quickly. It showed me how I need to be in a relationship now.
I wouldn't call that blended. I mean, you guys have different mom, but y'all still have the same father. So it's almost, it's not really blended, because when you say blended, it's almost like there's no blood connected.
Correct.
So with the only thing it taught you was your mom treated him like he was her own.
Correct.
Like she gave birth to him.
Correct.
And that's how it taught you how to love my children and treat them like they are your own.
Correct.
But
my dad had 2 kids from previous marriages, and it's the same thing. I love both of them. Like, I mean, there is no difference. It's brother and sister. My brother and sister is just like any brother and sister. We're all family, and I see my mom do them, treat them that way, and my dad treat them the same way. So it's, how can I be any different? Because I was raised in that from you find out that your family was somebody, you give them the shirt off your back, and you open up your home to them and everything. So it helped me to be that way, and seeing that you have so many resemblance to my mom. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I fell in love with you. Your heart.
I thought it was for
your heart,
me not wanting no more children.
Well, that's the first check mark. You know what I mean? Like, women have this long checklist or whatever. And I'm stereotyping. I'm just joking, guys. But yeah, it's the checklist of, being equally yoked. Are we playing on the same level? Because at the same token, I knew I didn't want any more children, and I didn't want to set myself up for failure or set somebody else up for the okie doke. So that was the first thing on my checklist, was, do they not want any more children? Okay, let's proceed down the checklist then.
All right, so with me, you talk about your parents, both your dad and mom was in your life.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was in my life for 14 years, and I think the person that she was, she made me the way I am, which I would take in anyone. We don't have to be a blended family. We don't have to be buddies. If somebody come to me and say they don't have anywhere to live, I am so open to be like, can we take them in? Can they come and live with us? They don't have anything, which is not always best, because not everyone have your best interest at heart and want to, did I pronounce that right? and you know care about you. Sometimes they just want to come in and steal from you, whatever reason they have. But I am open to the point where it's like, oh, if they're hungry, you can get some food for me. If you want to ride, I'll do it. Whatever it is, my heart is open to help anyone. So you don't have to be blood family or relatives or whatever. I'm open. So that's why it make it easy for me to be like, yeah, you have children. The only problem that I have as a bonus mom is I am trying. He will have a problem with it when I do it or I say it, not to overstep my boundaries to where I don't want his children to feel like I am trying to be their mom or trying to replace her because she is actively in their lives and I don't want to do things that she would want to do for them or teach them. And he don't at some point he sometimes he don't understand when I'm like, I don't want to overstep certain things I don't want to do because their mom is still and actively in their lives.
And I get that, and I get that, but at the same token, I'm gonna parent the way I parent. You know, whether it's my children or yours, which are now our children, I'm gonna parent them the same way. So if I'm teaching one how to ride a bike and the other one hasn't learned how to ride a bike yet, I'm gonna teach that one how to ride a bike too. Um, there's certain subjects that are touchy. I'm not gonna say, I wouldn't say, hey, go have the birds and the bees discussion before the biological parent could have the chance to do it. But if it's not happening at a certain point, again, I'm still a part of the parent, so I can give the go ahead to you to say, hey, you can have this conversation, or you feel fine doing this, or bonding in that way,
And I,
because that's all part of bonding.
but I think my part is because of my past, like you'll say your past have a lot to do with your present. So my past was my mom passed away when I was 14, and afterwards we came to the United States to live with my dad, and he was with at the time it wasn't his wife. They weren't married or anything, but certain things I felt like she told us before we could call her mom and all. For
Which
me,
I think is an overstep too. Don't I wouldn't tell my children, hey, start calling this person mom,
she didn't
or have you tell your children start
she
calling
didn't
people
force
dad,
us. She
or
said
just say
we,
you could.
She said we could, but I felt to the point where it was uncomfortable for me because I know that my mom is gone
Hmm.
and no one can take her place no matter what they did do, or it's just I am uncomfortable calling anyone even
So you uncomfortable calling my mom mom?
right now I am okay I am okay with calling your mom because that's the name you have for her. So I am okay with doing that. But when someone tell me that I could call them mom, it's almost like I feel like I'm slapping my mom in the face. So that's where, and then little things that I try not to, if if for right now, because we're still getting to learn each other to where I want the kids to be comfortable to where it's like first you have to build a friendship, then to be someone that, oh, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that, or because I was there. He never had a step or a bonus mom or bonus dad. He had both his parents. I've I never had a stepfather because my mom she didn't believe in that just because she had 7 children, 5 girls, 2 boys, and growing up in Jamaica, when you live on the family land and my dad is in the States, they don't believe in you can't bring anyone there. That wouldn't look right to the family unless she's gonna root us up, all 7 of us, and go elsewhere. Which, yeah, so it was just my mom and us, and until we came to the United States. My dad had what I call it at the time, living
He had
girlfriend.
women. Your dad had women. Let's call it what it is, people. Let's call it what it is.
No, that's he was with someone. He was with someone.
He was
that,
with someone's.
But then
and
he married her after we weren't living together anymore.
which one are we talking about? Remember before there was
No, he married only
what
one.
about the first one?
She-
You guys came
Oh,
to see. That's
she
what I'm saying.
she was fine,
And
but
then you
again,
went from there to the other place. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get
anyway. But like I say, um, your past have a lot to do with your present. So with my bonus children, I try not to say I'm going to discipline them or tell them to do something. I would prefer, or I would say to him, like, tell them to do this, or tell, and he feels like, why don't you go and tell him? And I feel like because I've been there, I said it's more acceptable for me, because when we were in that situation, I would have preferred my dad to come to us and say, Denise, do this, or Denise, I don't know why you're doing that, or Denise, blah blah blah, than someone else that don't know me like that.
But it's about the tone, and you guys just got into that situation. Now there's a certain level of respect that we've had over the years because the kids have been around us for years now, and you set a tone and you go with that. Either one of us could discipline them, either one of us could tell them what to do and do whatever. But to go back to where you said your past experiences are now dictating how you approach this situation, I like to tell people it's like the lens that you look life through. Your life experiences created this glass, these glasses. So now any experience that comes at you, now that you have these glasses on, you're viewing it through that lens. So you now, whether that lens is trauma or not, you're not going to take that situation.
I take the positive side out of it. I try not to let someone go through the hurt that I've been through. So instead of me, it would be like, oh, go wash the dishes in the sink or whatever. I would try to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it, which not all the time is.
But then she'll complain to me, people.
No,
she'll say the kids didn't wash the dishes. And I'm like, what? Go out there and tell them, get up and wash the dishes, or at least load the dishwasher or something.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen, I would say, and I've said it to you before, in a home, like after everything happened with my father and we were no longer living in that situation, my cousin, my little sister and I went to live with my cousin, and certain things that I saw there, I felt like, yes, this is what I want. Because again, I wouldn't say it was a blended family. It was a bonus father to my cousin's children, and the way that they did things.
But he disciplined them in the same manner, right?
No. Yeah, but we all come together. It was all a group. Like if something going wrong,
they like to have family meetings.
Yeah, it was a family meeting where everybody is not. It wasn't just my cousin there telling her children, which is their children now because they're married, and my little sister and I was there, which is her little cousins. So we all had a group, and it's like, okay, this is not going right, or Denise is doing this right. When Denise washed the dishes, pots and everything is washed. When you do it, I don't see where you're cleaning up behind. So it's like everybody is there, not just one person. So I don't want it to be where they're looking at me as the bad guy or looking at him as the bad guy when it comes to my children. It's both of us are in this together, and the children, all of us are in this together. So we're having a meeting when something is not going right in the house. And that's what I would want, a blended family to do. Not just, oh, I'm going to talk to my children, which I gave birth to, and he's going to talk to...
And I think that's not necessarily the best, because now, again, we're supposed to be one. So if you'll discipline your kids, or you'll talk to your kids, or Mike, there's a separation again. So I
And
like to
that's
have
what I
everything
said. And that's what
in
I
unity.
said.
If
And
I'm going to tell one,
look,
you all need to clean up
and
your
that's
rooms.
why
You all
I'm
need to
saying
go
to
through
you,
this.
we have a meeting, we have a group, so it's all of us. That's
So,
what I just said.
so people, I'm gonna ask you guys. Let us know in the comments below and stuff. How do you feel? Like, how? First of all, does any of this resonate with you? Were you a part of a blended family, or do you have a bonus mom or bonus dad when you were growing up? And did you have house meetings? Like, would you rather house meetings, or, you know, you didn't care if stepmom or stepdad or whoever told you to wash the dishes, clean up your room, or whatever, or did it hit differently when they said it versus your biological parents? Let us know below, and stay
you.
tuned for more from the Right Blend. We'll definitely be coming
Alrighty,
at you with
see
more
y'all
content.
next time.